So I am the faculty librarian for informatics and design. I'm just going to open the library webpage. So this is how the library webpage looks like, but I'm not really going to take you on how to search here. I'm only going to concentrate on databases. So what's happening right now during COVID is that if you open the library web page, it's gonna open up a pop-up thingy for chat. So right now that chat is what you can use to liaise with us in the library, any question. So it works between 8 a.m. and 4:30 p.m. every day, Monday to Friday. That's how we working during this time. So if it's more subject specific, then you will contact your librarian. But that's how we are working right now. To see the list of librarians, you go to find assistant faculty librarians. Let's just see. So, but these are all the librarians that we have divided by faculty. If you come here and click at the name of the librarian, it connects you to their email, and then you can email them directly. Our work as faculty librarians is to support you as students. I'm very, very interested in working with postgraduates. That's what I've been doing for the longest time, working with postgraduates. So this is where we come in. When you've come up with a topic, or you're thinking of researching on a topic, there's a number of places that you need to start. So if you go to research support, so this is the research support page. So what you're gonna get here, we have the institutional repository. This is where we put all the collection of articles written by lecturers, professors at CPUT. And then you have electronic thesis and dissertations. This is where we upload all the theses and dissertations that have been produced at CPUT. So this would be your first point before you can even go on with your research. So for instance, I'm working on virtual learning in South Africa. So I can just search just to see who else has written on this subject within CPUT. So there's about 2,045, but not all of them will be what I'm looking for. So this one is the adoption of virtual teams and virtual technology in human management in South African perspective. So if that's what I'm interested in, I would click on the title, and then it sort of opens up an abstract of what that thesis is about. And what I can do is I can download the thesis and look at it later. So this is the first place where you go to check if someone has done similar research to what you're doing. So that is the electronic theses and dissertations. Here on the side, on the right-hand side, you get the national South African National ETD portal. So what happens here, if you've seen on the CPUT one, there's nothing that matches what you want to research, then you have to cast your net further and look at South African theses and dissertations. So this constitutes all the institutions in South Africa. And you can search by title, by institution, by year. I just go by, I use my keywords or whatever I'm interested in, and then you can come here. The only difference with the National ETD portal is that you're gonna see something that's interesting and you can open it, but it won't give you a direct link to the thesis or the dissertation. So what you would do is you would take the title of whatever you're interested in and then go insert it into Google Scholar, and you will find the PDF format of that because it's different institutions. Another thing, so that's the National ETD portal. So you look here to see, okay, within South Africa, there's nothing that has been done with regard to my research. So I'm okay that within CPUT, there's nothing done. Within South Africa, there is nothing done. Now you cast your net further and you will go and look at internationally, what has been done internationally. So what you can do is then you go into databases, and the one that will contain theses and dissertations that are done internationally is ProQuest. And ProQuest falls under our databases. It's a database. So I can just go to the letter PMQ. Okay, so ProQuest is divided as in ProQuest that encompasses everything: ProQuest Agricultural Journals, ProQuest Computing, ProQuest Education Journals, ProQuest Medical Library, Telecommunications, if you're within those things. But I like using ProQuest so I can find more stuff. So it's not really subject specific. Then you open database, and then it's going to ask you to authenticate that you are a CPUT student or a CPUT staff member. When you get into ProQuest, you can use search terms to search, then it will give you journals, books, and everything. But I will always advise that you start with the dissertation and thesis. That's what we want to see, what has been written. Okay, that's my interest. So I'm looking for virtual learning and homeschooling. So you can get a full text of the PDF if this is what you are interested in. But you must always remember, when you search, I just put the words and it's haphazardly looking for anything that has to do with those words that I'm looking for. So you must always remember to put the words in inverted commas to tell the system, like ProQuest, that this is what I'm looking for. And sometimes homeschooling is written as one word. So that's what I'm looking for. Let's see. Okay, so I can go and say, okay, what has been done internationally on the topic that I'm interested in? And here you can actually open the PDF of whatever you are interested in. So those are the 3 places you would go and check if your research has been done before or not. So once you've checked that, I'm only gonna show you one database, which is it's called EBSCOHost. I like it because it's a hybrid database. What it does is that when you search within EBSCOHost and it doesn't have the actual article for you, it will make a link to other databases like Emerald, Web of Science. So it would link you to where the article is. So I'm going to show you that one, how it works. And then I'm gonna show you SAE publications, because that's where you're gonna get articles on work that has been done in South Africa. So you can also use ProQuest as a basic search to look for articles. Also, you'll find articles and journals that deal with anything within ProQuest. So what I'm gonna do now, I'm gonna go back and we'll look at those two databases. Let me just do this. Sorry. There's different databases that we subscribe to. So you can go see on the list, but I'm just gonna show you this one. If you can search with EBSCOHost, you can search within any database, that's what I believe. So what happens with EBSCOHost, as I mentioned, it's a hybrid database. It has other databases within it, like Academic Search Premier. So I always say to people, use Academic Search Premier because it's a multidisciplinary database. If you are in medication and health consumption, you can use the next one. But as you can see, we do not subscribe to it as CPUT. So the blue one is what we subscribe to. Art and architecture complete. If you are within that discipline, you can use this one. And then there's Business Source Premier. This is more for business related articles. Then you've got CINAL. If you're working within the nursing industry and allied health, you would use this database. Then there's ERIC. ERIC is more educational resources. Greenfile, I never tell anyone to use Greenfile. Let's forget about it. Then you get Health Source, which is the consumer edition. So also when you're looking at health stuff, you can use Health Source. Then there's Health Source Nursing Academic Edition. Then we have the Library Information Science and Technology Abstracts. And then we have Masterfile Premier. Masterfile Premier is also a multidisciplinary database. Then you've got Medline, Medicine, Newspaper Source. It's newspapers, but it's US-based newspapers. I will show you where to get like South African-based newspapers. If you're dealing with sports, then you use Sports Discuss. There's also textile and technology. People that are working, for instance, in surface design, they would use this. So you would pick up the database that you want to look into, and then you click continue. So I'm just gonna use all of them at the moment. So let's do a basic search. It's not a lot of results that I'm getting for virtual learning systems. Let me just do virtual learning and we will find more stuff. Okay, that's a good number. So you'll see the search results here. It's about 14,000 articles that are on virtual learning. So on this site, this is where you can refine your search results. So it's telling you that it's using a Boolean phrasing. So it enters the ands and the ors and the nots for you. This is basic, this is very broad, it's virtual learning. So whatever I'm gonna apply, this they call what is called a breadbox. So whatever I apply, it will show in this box. So if I want to go a step back, I can just cross out whatever I've applied. So I want stuff that is full text. So the system will update and only give me stuff that is full text. You can see the search results, they change. I'm also looking for articles that are peer-reviewed. Articles that are peer-reviewed, I feel they're so important because before the article is published, there's a reviewer that sits with it and look at the article, and they decide if, yes, within the industry, this is what people are looking at and things like that. So peer-reviewed articles are good. So then the publication date. So this is searching from 1983 until 2020. You can change the date there by highlighting and typing the date, or you can drag the bar below. So I normally, let's say in the past 10 years. I don't really want information from 1989. So those are the limiters that I'm not gonna go through the other things. They're just gonna confuse you. So what I've done now is I've done this search, but you must remember, I'm just working within EBSCOHost right now, but there's an option to sign in. Okay, someone just asked if it's possible to get articles that are not peer-reviewed on the database. Yes, some articles are not peer-reviewed. So it's highly important that you choose peer-reviewed ones. So you can, so now it's gonna ask me to sign in. There's awesome things that you can do with EBSCO if you are signed in. So now I'm signed in, I'm working within my account. It's saying, if not Zandile, sign in here. So the first thing that I can do, I've done this research on virtual learning, which is very broad. So let's just say I'm interested in learning about virtual learning, just broadly. So when I'm here within the results, let's say I'm happy with the results that I've got. It's like about 5,000. I can, if I click on share and I go email alerts, this is, you can only do this when you logged in. You can't do it when you're not logged in. So if I click on email alerts, I can put in my email there and then say, okay, I want every month for them to send me any article on virtual learning. For how long? I can say for 1 year, for 6 months, for 2 months, for 1 month. What result format do I want? I want detailed results or a brief or a bibliographic management, and then I can save alert. I can save my alert. So what's going to happen is that the system, if anything that has to do with virtual learning gets added onto the EBSCO databases, I will get an email telling me that there's a new article on virtual learning, or let's say in that particular month, if there's nothing written, then there's nothing written, but it will send you an alert. That's just for the results now. So another nice thing is I don't have to read 5,359 articles. So this one, it tells me what subject does it cover, and it tells me that it's Fulltext. It's from Eric. That's the database that's in it. This is available from. The next one is also from Eric. I just want to remove Eric because it's going to give us a lot of stuff with no attachments. So let me come here. Let's see. Where's Eric? Let me remove Eric. Okay. So I've removed some databases, so my result list will change. Okay, so I wanted that. I wanted full text. Okay, and I wanted from 2010. Okay, so now let's say I've got these results. I like this article because it might cover what I'm looking for. So I add it to a folder. Okay, I can add that one. I'm just gonna add a few articles. Okay, so I've added a few articles on my folder. So if I go and let me just minimize this. If I go onto the top, this is the stuff that I've added now onto my folder. So I can go folder view. So now it's only chosen those articles that I chose. That's what in the folder now. So it's the 4 articles. So you would notice on this side, there's a lot that you can do. You can do journal alerts. So if there's a specific journal that you are interested in, you can create an alert here for that specific journal. I showed you how to do a search alert. So what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna open one of these articles. So it gives me who the authors are, the abstract. It's in HTML format. If it's in HTML format, you can actually listen to the article. I like doing this because sometimes I get tired of reading. So you can actually change the accent that you want. We can download this article into MP3. So what it will do, it will actually read the article for you. But it takes a while sometimes. So it would actually read the article for you. That's what HTML does. If I go to PDF, PDF is easy. We all know how to use PDF. So the tools that you get on the side here, on this sidebar, you can send this article to your Google Drive, you can print it, you can email it, you can cite it. If I click on cite, I can go and look for, there's Harvard. It shows you, you must always remember when you get something online, it's different the way you reference it than you have it in your hand. So you can actually copy that one and use it in your references. Or you can export this article to a reference managing tool. The one that CPUT is using is called Mendeley. I'll show you just briefly how Mendeley is. Or you can use a permalink. You can send a permalink. Why you would send a permalink is that if I want to send this to one of my friends, it collects data of like how many people have read this article to help the person or the authors of the article for collecting their citations. So you must always use a permalink if you want to share an article. I will show you now why that's important. So this is PDF. So let me just go back to my folder list. So let's say now I've created, I like these 4 articles for just virtual learning. I can go to where it says my custom and click new. And I'm gonna make a folder for myself. So this folder will be called virtual learning. And then I'll save my folder. So there's my folder. Now, these are the articles that I wanted. I can select all of them and then I can move them to my virtual learning folder. Then they're gonna sit there. I can go do another search on homeschooling and create another folder here for homeschooling and add the articles on homeschooling here. You can also share the folder with someone. If I click on share, let's say we are working on a project or we're working on an on writing an article, I can share this folder with someone and it's gonna send them a code that they can use to open up these articles. Let me just go back. Another thing that I like about EBSCO is that when you are within, there's something I wanted to show you. I didn't capture. Okay, I'll go back to the other results. So I've shown you HTML. You've seen PDF. But now this article, I'm interested in it, but then EBSCO doesn't have the actual article. So I will have to click on Fulltext Finder so it can find out where the article is for me. Okay, so the article is located there. Sometimes with Fulltext Finder, it will just take you to the actual journal. So when you're looking, you must always make sure you collect, you know, the title, you know, the year of publication and which volume this article is in. So this is the article that I'm looking for. So they went and found this article from Emerald. Emerald is another database that we have access to. So EBSCO, because it didn't have within its own databases, it then creates a link resolver where it goes and links you to other databases. So this is one of them, which is Emerald. Another thing that you can do, I just want to go back to the, let's just go back. Something that I like doing on EBSCO is if you are logged in, you can create notes within the article here. So there, I can create a note. I can create a note, go new note. This is how, when you have scanned the article and seen that you can use this, and then I'll say this, the valuable in my introduction, and I save the note. So now when I go into my folders and click, because this is one of the articles that I chose. If you go to notes, there's the note. It says I have one note, and it says this could be available for my introduction. If I click there, it will take me to that specific article. Journal alerts works in a different way. There's no journal here. So let's say you can look within publication. So Academic Search Premier is multidisciplinary. So I'm just gonna go look for a specific journal. What happens here is where you search, and this box is where you're gonna search for a specific publication. Anyone wants me to search for a publication? Let's just see if we can find it. Anyone?
Is it a book that you're looking for?
No, we're looking for a journal, a specific journal.
Okay.
Anyone who's got a journal in their head?
South African social work?
Let's see. Okay, they don't have like South African social work. You must also understand EBSCO is more international. So the one that we're looking for, we'll see in when we do SAE publications. But anyway, these are the South Asian Journal of Experimental Biology. Let's just say social work and remove South Africa. Come up. You use this when you actually know the journal that you are looking for. So this is a journal called Social Work, and there's one Social Work Education. So I can click on the journal. So EBSCO has access from this journal from 1975 to 2020. So you can actually go in there and look at the latest volumes and what's within that volume. Another thing that you can do here is if you know of a specific journal that you like and you want to search within it, you can do that. So I would say, let's click social work. You can also share here. When you click on share, You can email alerts from yourself to yourself on this specific journal. If they send something, if they have a new issue, they will send you an email to say there's a new issue available. So what is important when you do an alert here is that you click where it says alert for full text only, because what would happen with other journals, they have to make money. So the latest publication won't be available, or they won't have full text attached, but they will say, okay, this has been published and this is the list of articles within that journal. But then if you click alert on full text only, is that they will send you the alert when they have the full text attached to the articles. I'm gonna cancel that. Let me go back. So let's see what they normally, so I am looking for child welfare, and I want that journal. Search. Just want to see if it's searching within the, no, it's not searching within that journal, but there is a way. I forgot, I haven't worked in the system for a long time. There is a way that you can actually search for, if I found it, I'll send you the steps. You can search for, in a specific journal, you can search for specific stuff. You are able to do that within EBSCO. Another thing that you can see here is what's called PlumX. PlumX, this is more for people that are doing lecturing or that write articles a lot. What PlumX does, it collects like how many citations do you get? How many times have you been mentioned in Twitter? So it collects alternative matrix on the particular article. So you can see with PlumX if a certain article has been cited a lot or not. That's what PlumX does. So for those people that are on Twitter, I'm not on Twitter, you can also go on Twitter. People use Twitter to promote their research and talk about things within Twitter. So this is EBSCO. In a nutshell, if you want to know other things, we can talk on the side. So now I want to go and show you SAE publication, because that's where you're gonna find South African journals and articles. We've got SA theses here, so theses and dissertations available at South African libraries. SAE publication, and then there's SACAT. SACAT and SAE publications, they from the same company. So let's just go to SAE publications. So they will always ask you to authenticate. So here, what happens, what's currently, these are the recent articles that have been published. These are the most read articles within the site. You can look for open access journals here. You can look at a specific collection, business and finance. So these are the journals. Here you get the actual journals and you can actually browse the issue. So that's what you do on SAE publications. So you can also look for which journals are accredited. So you've got the DHET lists, Web of Science, IBSA, CLO. That's where you can get all that information. So you can also type a keyword here and look for articles. So it tells you from what collection these articles are coming from, what are the keywords, the publication, the year of publication, who are the authors. So, but it's not, it's gonna pick up virtual learning or e-learning and stuff like that. But if you would go to, let's just go back. I want to show you within SACAT. So Subnet is more like your African journals. So if you're looking for African context, South African context, you can use Subnet. Okay. Sorry guys, this is SACAT. So you can type in your keywords. But what's nice about SACAT, if you know the title of the article that you're looking for, and you know the author or the ISBN, or ISBN is for a book, ISSN is for a journal. So you can use that information to find articles. And it can, here it says libraries in South Africa, SACAT. So, or you can do libraries in Africa. That's how you can search. So if I search for virtual learning again, rote learning from, okay, let me just go back. Virtual learning. So these are the first one is a book. It's got an ISBN. I can click on the book and find out where it is. So this is the info about the book. And here it's got electronic location and access. So it is available on EBSCO, this particular book. You can also find in a library. So it will tell you which libraries have this particular book. So University of Pretoria, Sol Plaatjes, Mangosuthu, says IR. So it already tells you this information. What I like about SACAT, I heard Prof talking about interlibrary loans, which is something that I'm gonna talk about now, and then we can go on and ask questions. So here on SACAT, it's more stuff that is written within Africa or within South Africa. So it will give you books, it will give you journal articles that are written within South Africa. That's SACAT. I'm not gonna really search on it, but
when you're doing the search, it's similar. All these databases are similar in how you get articles and stuff. So now let's say you are interested in an article. Let me just, so it's my daughter who uses this computer for school. Okay, now let's say you are searching on Google Scholar and then you come across a very nice article, but you can't find it anyway. So what do you then do? So you go to find, click on forms, and then you go to interlibrary loans. So you can choose if you're a staff member, first year, second year, or BTech, and you click on next. So fill in your details and you click, if it's a book, you tell them how many books you want. If it's 1 or 2 books or whatever, you click the number. Or then how many journal articles you want, 2 journal articles, and you click the number and you click next. So on the next page, you put in, what's important is the title of the article that you're looking for. Which journal is it coming from? Which year? And the authors. So at the moment, because we are closed, we cannot, interlibrary loans cannot get books for you, but they would get journal articles for you. And some of the articles that you might be interested in might not be held within the libraries that are on WorldCat, and we have to get the article overseas. Before we can go and get the article overseas for you, where there's going to be a payment involved, we will first contact you to say, okay, sir or ma'am, the article that you are interested in is available from the University of Alabama, and they are charging us $35 to get the article. So you have then to say, yes, I need the article, or no, I do not need the article. For master's students, I always say, if you can't find the article, but it's something like really relevant for you, go and look at the references. Who did this person reference? Or where is this article cited from? Or what other articles are similar? You do not have to pay so much money to get articles. But I know for academics, if you really, really, really want an article, you might be able to pay the $35.
Zandile, can I just interrupt you here? Because, sorry, what you're saying there is absolutely valid. Before I pay 35 Rand for an article, I go either to researchgate.net or academia.edu, and I find the person who wrote that article, and I ask him to send me his author's copy, which they're allowed to do. I get an author's copy for everything that I do, which is a PDF, and it is written over it, author's copy, and I can send that PDF to that person, or that person will send it to you. And what you usually get then, when they send you their author's copy, they might also send you some work that led up to it. They'll probably send you an article that they're currently working on. They give you a whole lot of extra information, which is really valuable. And of course, you get free advice from them. So I also find that there are all sorts of better ways than to pay 35 Rand. Zandile, there's another question I wanted to ask you, and that is if you could just, I was a little out of touch right at the beginning of your presentation, so I'm not sure if I'm not sure if you managed to show them the little pop-up box that comes in the moment you enter the library. There's a pop-up box that says, "Can we help you?" And then you type a sentence, and then a person appears by magic. And I did that last week, and a person appeared, and it wasn't 7 minutes before I got the article that I wanted. It was absolutely brilliant. So you don't have to go to any of the databases or anything. You just go to the little box and you type in what you want, and it comes to your email a few minutes later. It's brilliant.
Yeah, it's the one I was saying, how we work now. So that service works from Mondays to Fridays from 8 a.m. to 4:30. There'll always be someone there to help you. It's just a little pop-up box that says chat to us. You can type anything and there'll be someone to assist you. Quick. So if you go to databases and you find Scopus, this is what I sometimes do when I'm looking for stuff. So just continue as guest, don't sign in. Okay. So I'm searching for documents on virtual learning and education. So it gives you results on virtual learning and education. So what I would normally do is I would go analyze search results. Let's just wait for this to, okay. So this gives you a analysis of this one, how many papers have been written in virtual learning and education to date? So 50. In 2019, there were 271. So you can actually click on the number and you can view the list of documents. But what I like here is I go and see documents by author. So this guy on top writes a lot on virtual learning and education. I'll click on, he's got 12 articles. So I'll click on him and go see what is he writing. And then also another thing that I check is, so this is the author. This author has written 56 documents, and his total citations, and then this is his H index. Don't worry about the H index. Prof would worry about H index. But what you're worried about is how many times has he been cited? And this one, it shows you the trends of how this guy was cited. So it shows you, here's his 56 documents, who cited him. So 29 documents cited this guy, and you can go view what were those people writing about and stuff like that. So this is something that is very interesting that I usually do. And then I'll pick one article of this guy and then also see what other stuff he's writing on. And this time I'm looking for document by subject area. So this topic, virtual learning and education, is mostly dealt with within computer science. So what I want to do then, I'm like, okay, within computer science, so let's go check computer science. So now it's looking for virtual learning and it is limited to computer science. So your results will change. So This article was written in 2020 and it's been cited 7 times already. And it's interesting, predicting at-risk university students in a virtual learning environment via machine learning. So what I would do is I would go, and the source is computers in behavior. Just hold on. It is, okay, then wait, I think I did the wrong thing here. Sorry. Where's this article now? All right. So the source is computers in human behavior. So I would go and click on the journal and look how is this journal? This journal has been covered from 1985 to present, and it's still coming out of Scopus, which means it is it's still highly ranked. It's one of those journals that are highly ranked. So you look here, the citation score was 6.14 in 2018. That's when it was done. So now what I can do here is I can go view all documents that are written within computers and human behavior. And I can search within this journal for what I'm looking for virtual learning. And it will give me articles that are written in this specific journal about my topic. So that's another way of doing things. Did I cover everything, Prof?
Yes, lovely. More than, this has been much more than what we asked for. So we're very pleased that this happened. Thank you very much. It's been amazing. Any questions, guys?
Sorry, Prof. I just wanted to know, so we can use Scopus to be able to search for our heroes, as I can see.
Yes.
How's
That's the whole idea.
Okay.
Can you see, because you branch from the one to the other to the other, it gives you a very nice way of finding your heroes. Yes. Okay, anybody else? So in that case, I'm stopping the recording. Zandile, you and I must talk, because maybe I must edit down this and take out a couple of the things, and then we must put it up somewhere. I don't know whether you have your own website, or whether we must upload it to YouTube, or whether we put it on the library site, so that we don't have to do this again.
Your page, and then we can also just put it on YouTube.
Yeah. Okay,
yeah.
Good. Thank you very much. Good night, everybody.